Politics and current affairs issues may sound casual when it's discussed by the wrong persons in the wrong circle. But with Dimeji Daniels, the discussion can only get more interesting. The analysis, the interviews, the findings, the details, the actions, the argument, the hot seat. Only on one show, The Roundtable. Join Dimeji Daniels on Adaba 88.9 FM every Mondays between 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. as he tackles matters arising in the news and political space with his prolific guests discussing issues of politics and current affairs. The Roundtable with Dimeji Daniels. Let the conversation begin.
3 minutes past 2 from the studios of Adaba 88.9 FM. Good afternoon and welcome to this week's edition of the Roundtable. Well, as you've heard, the All Progressives Congress, that is the APC, the party that is in power at the national level and in many states of the Federation, has been beset by so many crises. We had a situation where courts of coordinate jurisdiction were given rulings and counter rulings on the same issue, and you wonder what indeed went wrong. Well, on Thursday, in the neck of the party, that is the National Executive Council of the party, met President Muhammadu Buhari, superintended at that meeting, and the meeting called by Giadom, who was at the time the acting national chairman of the APC, backed by President Muhammadu Buhari, because on Wednesday we saw a tweet from the presidency saying that President Muhammadu Buhari has decided to pitch his stand with Giadom as the acting national chairman of the party, and then that NEC meeting summoned by Giadom on Thursday, and at that meeting, okay, before we go any further, let's quickly listen to excerpt of the speech of President Muhammadu Buhari at the NEC meeting.
In order to effectively resolve all disputes currently plaguing the party, I am recommending that this meeting should carefully consider and pass resolutions on how to effectively deal with the current issues confronting the party. Accordingly, this meeting may adopt the Bloc resolutions as contained in the agenda and pass resolutions including A. Approving the immediate discontinuation of all pending litigations involving the party and its members. B. Ratifying the primary election conducted in Ondo State. C. Dissolving the current National Working Committee. And D. Appointing caretaker extraordinary convention planning committee for the party.
Well, you just listened to President Muhammadu Buhari at the NEC meeting where those decisions that he mentioned. So the NWC, as led by the embattled former chairman of the APC, Adams Oshiomhole, was dissolved, and the governor of Yobe State, Mai Mala Bulli, who was at the time the national secretary of the APC, was appointed caretaker chairman of the APC, and his committee will also organize another convention where the ESCO of the party, new ESCO of the party, will be selected in 6 months. Well, ever since that came out, we've been getting a lot of reactions to the decision of the NEC. Some people have said President Muhammadu Buhari does not have the power, the legal power to do what he did, because those suggestions, or should I call it, were not subjected to any debate at the NEC meeting. They were just ratified. But today on the program, we'll be looking at some of these issues and other issues, some of the reactions that have been coming out from the APC, and of course, major stakeholders in the APC after that. My name is Dimeji Daniels. Let me quickly welcome my studio guests on the roundtable today. Joining me on the program is public commentator and political scientist, Mr. Theo Adebowale. You're welcome on the program.
Good afternoon.
I also have with me in the studio Barrister Morakinyo, Ogele, because we will be talking a bit of law on the program this afternoon. So we'll be looking at the APC constitution because a lot of issues have come up since those decisions were taken. Barrister Morakinyo, Ogele, you're welcome on the program.
Thank you, Dimeji. We are here again this afternoon. Thank you very much.
Also, the youth leader of the party in Ondo State, Mr. Babalayo, you're welcome on the program.
Thank you very much.
Oluti is called. And the chieftain of the party from Ekiti State, who was at the time governorship aspirant on the platform of the party, that is, they call him in Ekiti, in political circles, they call him Opomlero, Mr. Chief Adebisi. You're welcome on the program.
Good afternoon.
Ranti Adebisi.
Thank you.
Okay, let me start from Mr. Adebowale. Ever since what happened, there's been a lot of issues, a lot of reactions trailing the decision of the NEC last Thursday. Let me first ask you, what is your take on what went down on Thursday?
Well, number one, I believe that the president, as national leader of the party, acted too late. With his office, with his status, one would have expected him to mobilize the recognition, the respect, the authority, that are his, to step into the party earlier than this, through formal and informal methods, to call the various the various warmongers to order. And maybe the president just got out of his lethargy and he decided to address the issue. The most important thing that strikes me as a student of political science is his instruction, his directive to all warring parties to go and withdraw or terminate litigation. That sends a signal to the membership that the issues are beyond the legalists, that the issue require sitting down, adopting informal, maybe lawful means, to resolve such issues. It is, you might say, as if as when the military take over in a situation, they say they are suspended the constitution and they want to rule, through some fiat. The respect that members have for the president will help the party to go far in resolving the issue. After the most, I am just projecting, after they must have achieved some resolution, they can now go back, put the home in order, and activate the constitution once again. The fact is that in every system, the constitution, whether written or written, is a very powerful instrument. But we know that as systems, either as nations or groups mature, they allow the constitution to function. They adopt, give and take methods. They have a dispensation towards other people within the system to allow that system to function. I think if members of the ruling party are able to adopt, to tolerate that approach, it will help them to escape the shame they are brought to themselves through their careless and selfish interests.
Okay, let me quickly turn to Chief Ranti Adebisi. Some people have said that that decision was to allow the APC to start on a fresh note. But I've also read, and listening to some stakeholders, even private discussions, where some have complained that President Muhammadu Buhari, by his action on Thursday, has only succeeded in handing over the party to the governors on the platform of the APC, and that what we have now, in spite of the jubilation going around, is just a piece of the graveyard, and that the APC is here to have that peace. That in days ahead, we will see a lot of political horse trading that could lead to the end of the APC. Do you agree?
Well, I do not agree.
Okay.
I quite agree with the steps taken by the president. And like the previous commentator said, the president was a bit too late in acting. You know, this is all a political family. We are bound to disagree to agree. And what the president has done is actually corrected the malaise going on around the party. You know, whereby we have people now who has become overlords over the rest of us. We all work together to bring APC to where it is, but some people are working to tear it down.
Are those overlords still not in favor of the party?
Right now,
because I assume you're referring to state governors, and one of their own is the chairman.
It's not just the state governors. We have some ministers involved in all this. And it has to do with the mentality some of them brought from PDP to APC. You know, we have to be very careful. Like in my own state in Ekiti, we have a lot of disagreement, but all of them are my brothers. I can sit across the table to talk to anybody. I see myself as a bridge builder. You have to disagree to agree. In a family setting, if we all sit down or we sleep and put our head on the same side, you know, we are just fooling ourselves. So what this period of interregnum or whatever you call it is to correct and let us start afresh. I was just discussing with some people that it is not at the federal level alone that we have problems. We have problems at the state levels too. So when you're talking about the governors who has taken, well, they are the leaders of the parties in every state. You have to give it to them. They work hard to get to where they are. But the problem I have with some governors is when you get there, you have to act like a leader. We all cook this soup, put it on the table. Let us all share from this soup.
When you say the governors worked hard to get to where they are,
yeah,
many of these governors were anti-Oshiomhole, so to say. Some of them have said, even openly, we've had cases of, even if we have not had directly from them, where we had people, but there were reports of a particular governor saying that Oshiomhole does not have the temperament to lead a political party. Let me pose my question.
Okay.
Now, some of people have complained that some of you think that these same governors, the high-handedness, so to say, that they blame or criticize Oshiomhole for, they also do the same thing in their party. So now, if you hand over the parties to such people, what is the fate of the party?
Whatever problems Oshiomhole might have created, Oshiomhole was once a governor. He was one of them. They have the same mentality. The problem with Oshiomhole was that when he became the chairman, he forgot that he's no longer a governor, where they are all being worshipped in their various states. You have the hot heads, you have the cool heads in the party. He did not manage them very well. He has his faults, but at the same token, it was these same governors that put Oshiomhole there. They all agreed to bring him. They were drafting him to become the national chairman. All of a sudden, he helped a lot of them. So we need to be very careful when we are castigating ourselves about all these things. We all have our faults.
What I ask you, which you have not answered, is that the governors, the APC, the governors on the platform of the party, some of the injustices they complain about, they have been accused of same in their states.
I agree with you. Some of them, they have this same problem at the national level in the states. Ekiti, for example.
So why push for justice at the national level if you cannot push for same in your state where you are the leader of the party?
It tells us something about our character as people. Maybe we are not even ready for this democracy we are talking about. And you have to understand that some of these governors came to their position maybe by the way of being activists. Activism doesn't work very well in politics. You have to be able to use all kind of
persuasion.
That's what politics is all about. But when you came in and you say, oh, it must be done this way, no, you are bringing hot heads and cool heads together. You have to be able to manage the different characters, different tendencies that makes up the political party.
Okay, let me turn to Barrister Ogele. What happened on Thursday?
Yeah.
Is it, as some people said, peace of the graveyard? Or does APC now really have peace going forward?
Now, let me tell you something. The problem we have in the APC is that, with respect to them, majority of them, they are lawless. They don't obey the constitution of this Nigeria as the organic law. Now, this is an extension again of lawlessness to their own constitution. The whole party is crisis reading. Why? Because they have neglected totally their constitution. Look at what happened in Ondo State. They failed to obey in total, to work within the four corners of the constitution. What our president did is patently illegal, seriously illegal. Wherein a man just called. And let me tell you, there are more to this. Yes, let's not forget. Even the bar, that is our lawyers, we are not helping the situation. The judiciary, they are not helping the situation. For example, how can two courts of equal jurisdiction issued an order in Ondo State?
Counter orders.
Counter again in Port Harcourt. So they are washing their dirty, linen at the public. And I'm very sorry. My brother was saying at the other time that maybe the mentality they brought from PDP. Who are they? Who are they? They are exchanging party here and there. APC to PDP, PDP to what about even our father over there? He is from NPP, from CPC to APC. So they are both guilty of this thing. And let me tell you, the only crisis they cannot manage is that they want, like my brother said here, that they cook the soup together. They want to put it together on table. That's just more reason. So what I'm saying that there is an organic leakage between the members of APC and their constitution. That is what is holding them. Obey the constitution, everything will be okay. Like Lord Rodani said, only those who disobey or who disagree with the rule of law, they are calling for crisis. That will be crisis. Only the Bible said that now there is no king in Israel. Everybody does what he likes. That's what is happening.
When you say what the president did was illegal, what part of it was illegal?
Because
let's get that straight. Because the constitution of the APC, before me, Article 13 says that the NWC has the NEC, that is the NEC, has the power to create, elect, and appoint any committee it may deem necessary, desirable, or expedient, and assign to them such powers and functions as it may deem fit and proper.
Thank you very much. You see, there's no fear hearing before the dissolution of that NEC, so to say.
Okay.
No fear hearing at all. They should have called Ushima. I'm not a politician, but I'm talking in line with.
But you would not know if Ushima was called.
No, they should have called all those that contributed to that dirty crisis. They should have called them to Roundtable, settle the matter first of all. But if they cannot settle the matter, then dissolve the whole system. Look, I'm telling you, the problem we have in this country.
So you're saying the president was not fair to the NWC?
Not fair at all. They should have been called. And let me tell you, even the crisis, like I've told you, emanated part of it from judiciary. I see no reason. A day to that dissolution of the NEC, they went now to High Court in Plateau State, now compelling the ringleader, compelling that he should go and convey the NEC. It should be a conveyed NEC meeting. Why should that be? Yes. Why do they now resort to such? So this is a plan work because they are not consistent.
Would you say a lot of people, not a few people, were shocked when we saw the tweet from the presidency that Buhari has decided to back Gayadom as the acting national chairman of the APC?
I'm very sorry. I was not shocked at that. I wasn't shocked at all. What do you expect from the president of this country? I mean, what do you expect? No, now let me tell you, he has been continuously unabated, breaking the constitution of this country. Now let me tell you, Magu is there today. Is he qualified to be there? Although we are going to challenge it. All what he has conducted about this corruption is not avoided. Why? He has not been getting approval from the Senate. He's still acting on and on. So the basic foundation of society is to obey our rule of law, our constitution, organic law. Once there's an absence of doing this, well, we must.
Before I turn to Oluti, who is the youth leader of the party, he is a graduate of law. I believe you are at the law school now. Good. Am I right, Oluti? Okay. Before I come to you, so you call him baby lawyer?
No, is that what you? Lawyer is a lawyer.
Okay, lawyer. Okay. So let me. Article 17 of the party's constitution, sub-article 4 states that no officer in any organ of the party shall hold executive position office in government concurrently. Oluti and I were talking about this just before we came on here. My Marabuni is the executive governor of Ondo State, who is at the same time the caretaker chairman of the APC. And my own understanding is that the caretaker committee is acting in has two functions. One is to act in place of the NWC of the party, and the other is to conduct the convention of the party. Now, my Marabuni has written to INEC regarding Ondo State APC primaries. So this is a sitting governor who is at the same time the caretaker chairman of the APC. And this sub-article states that no officer in any organ of the party shall hold executive position office in government concurrently.
Exactly. And they have not even amended that section. This is what I'm saying. They have not amended it. This is what I'm saying. That all what they have done so far so good is not a point of no effect. Although I'm not a competent court of law. But as what you have read there, interpret this literally. Don't apply Missy rule or golden rule. No. And it boils down to the same thing I've been saying, that obey the rules and regulation or constitution of this party, everything will be okay. The crisis will just fade away.
What happens when they are not obeying the rules? That's why the president came in.
Then crisis
to stop the.
He himself now again.
Would you correct illegality? Would you to correct illegality?
You cannot legalize illegality.
Let me turn to Oluti.
You cannot legalize illegality.
Is it to talk? Let me turn to Oluti. Is it to talk?
It's not a country.
Apart from the fact that he is a lawyer, he is the youth leader of APC in Ondo State. Oluti, what is your take on this on this section, this Article 17 of your party?
Well, let me just say this. I'm not yet a lawyer, but a graduate of lawyer. I'm still in law school.
Ignorant of law is no excuse anyway.
I know, sir.
You are in law school, so
let me just tell you. No, we are talking politics now.
Okay.
We are not again law.
You must have
but you have the constitution before you.
Yes,
so let's talk about it. Let's talk your constitution.
You said something about you are a journalist. So in that area,
I'm reading what this is what is before me in your constitution.
Okay. I said you're a journalist.
Okay.
Just be patient.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, as a journalist, it's going to be very difficult for you to interpret the constitution legally speaking. So
that's right.
For me, when you are saying that, going by what you said,
article, what I read from the constitution,
Article 17, as it is entrenched.
So Article 4.
Yes, 4. No officer in any organ of the party shall hold a certain position, office in government concurrently.
Okay.
To me, if I want to interpret that
to you
without being mischievous, right, I will just tell you that the current chairman, caretaker chairman, the governor of Ondo State, is not holding any position concurrently. It's just in acting capacity, and there's no way you can tag that a position because it's just there. A vacuum has been created by the national body, and you cannot just leave it like that without someone else, an officer managing the position. And he has the terms of reference, which is to say, manage this party for like 5 to 6 months. And the terms of reference is
organize a extraordinary convention and Ondo and Ondo State election. After that, that's the end. And mind you, this part of the article you are quoting has to do with people that are elected, the real officers of the party.
Okay.
As I am now, I am the state youth leader. I am not expected to hold any position in government. That is the meaning. But in active capacity, he is not elected. It's just an appointed position. So to me, it's not holding anything concurrently. Okay. It's just there to, allow some situation to prevail, which is to create peace. And if I want to go, like what others have said, my seniors said, what they have said concerning the position that Mr. President took, I can tell you, there's no any other time that could have been more than now for the Mr. President, to whip that stick on any members. Oshiomhole, he has zoomed more than he could have as a chairman. Like some other people have said, this is not labor movement. So if you are bringing activism to party politics, then there's no way you will not enjoy yourself. So he has really enjoyed his political career by what he has been doing. So when you just assume that
let me ask you
are becoming uncontrollable.
Before we go further on that, the article of the constitution of your party, they have quoted, which in plain terms before me here. Let me quote it again. No officer in any organ of the party shall hold executive position office in government currently. Enlighten me. What role is the caretaker committee of the APC playing? Is the caretaker committee not acting now as the NWC of the party? When I'm done, why I'm asking you that question, INEC, when you write INEC concerning primaries of a political party, INEC only recognizes the chairman, the national chairman, and the national secretary of the party, which my Malabuli has done regarding the primaries of Ondo State. That means that's a function of the NWC, the national chairman and the national secretary. So that's why I'm asking you, that you should enlighten me. What roles is the caretaker committee playing?
Let me tell you, what I can just say to that is, when there is a vacuum has been created, like I just told you. Definitely, does
a vacuum mean we should not obey the law?
Hold on.
Okay.
You cannot be judging your own case. So
it's not even my case. I'm only asking for the public.
Politically, in this country, you have never been obeying law.
You ask a question.
Okay.
Allow me.
I'm allowing you. Okay. Please go ahead.
What I'm saying is, as far as this one is concerned, this issue is concerned, there is no law, existing law, extant law, that be it the party constitution electoral law, even the electoral law you are talking about, though I might not be here with that aspect of it, the primary of a party is strictly affairs of any party. It is strictly the affairs of any party. Even if you go to court, they will tell you. So for me, they have not.
Does INEC not monitor primaries?
Yes, the INEC we are talking about. Why
did INEC? I'm asking you the questions. Why did INEC reject the first letter that was written to it?
Because it was signed by just one person.
So I'm not saying this.
Yes, just one. And this time around, it's not going to be signed by one person. It will be signed by the caretaker chairman, recognized by NEC and the secretary. That committee has.
So what functions are those? The functions. What functions are those?
The functions
are those not the functions of the NWC?
Are you saying that?
I'm asking you.
Is it not to you that this is the first time we'll be having caretaker to manage the affairs of party?
I'm looking at your
when there is crisis, there must be caretaker to
Mr. Babalayo, yes. I'm only asking you questions from the constitution of your party.
Yeah.
I'm not speaking outside the constitution of your party. So let's not.
The constitution of my party has NEC as the highest decision-making body, and if they have decided that this is the people or this is the way they want the party to, the line they want the party to go.
It means disobeying your own constitution.
We are not disobeying constitution.
We're just pointing out one.
No, we are not disobeying. Because the people that form that caretaker committee, they are NEC members. And what you have read it here, they have the right to organize, to form any committee, be it ad hoc or what have you. It's the NEC. The only time you can say they have disobeyed or contravened the party constitution is for just maybe ordinary people, or maybe Mr. President just sit down in Asu Rock and decide to form caretaker committee and what have you. But the constitution has empowered NEC to come with any form of committee And that is the final.
I agree with that because I've also read that.
And they have done
but
that.
that's not the part we're talking about.
And that they have just done.
I'm talking about the issue of Buni and you.
That's what I'm just telling you. They have just done that.
The NEC has
And that's the end.
the power to carry out
Okay,
these
okay,
things.
just a minute. You want to say? I'll come back to you, Mr. Babalayo.
Here is where I disagree with my colleague here. Now let me tell you, like I rightly said, that the problem within the APC, they have navigated nearly all the sandals of illegality in moving the party forward. And that's the problem. Now, my colleague here, I have told you, there is no mischief rule or golden rule, but it should be interpreted literally.
Let me even ask you. Just a minute, Mr. Babalayo. Let me ask you, because before we came on here, he and I were talking about something. And he said they are in temporary capacity. And I said, this section of your constitution, of the APC constitution, does not state whether it is temporary
or permanent. Now let me tell you.
No. I'll come to you. Chief Ranti Adebisi, I'll come to you. I'll come to you. You have your time.
I think I concur with the Meji. You see, you can.
I don't know what position is their
constitution.
No,
that's the position.
It's their constitution.
No, you are misinterpreting the constitution.
No, it's not misinterpreting.
I'm not even interpreting.
I want to point something. You lawyers are the problem.
Okay, just a minute. Just a minute. Mr. Adebowale. Just a minute. Mr. Adebowale. Mr. Adebowale, please.
In the science of politics, one of the very first thing.
Not science of political parties now.
one very first thing we learn
political parties
is that man is not made for law.
Thank you.
Law is made for man. That is number one.
Yes.
Number two, coming from that, is that no constitution anywhere in the world
is perfect.
Is completely written.
No perfection.
That is why
this one is written.
Yes, you have even the United States
of America. I'm reading from the one that is written before.
The United States of America Constitution is not completely written. That constitution will have to be augmented with practices.
It must have been
conventions. And these ones evolve over time. Therefore, whenever there is crisis,
doctrine of necessity,
there should be somebody
like on the case
or a group of people so recognized by the members of that institution, who should be able to wield the big stick.
Okay.
And in wielding the big stick, they try
That's the neck of the party.
You see, sir.
In wielding it, certain things could be done extra constitutionally.
Yes. What did you say?
Once it has been,
I'll come back to you, Barrister.
Once it has worked, it will help them. It will help them to upgrade that constitution, because there are several things that they did not foresee when they were preparing the constitution. As they come, they accommodate them and they build these conventions that will help them, in the future.
Okay, just a minute. Hold it there. Just a minute. I just want you yes or no answer, and then I'll go to Chief Adebisi. Now, should any member of the APC decide to go to court based on this article of their constitution?
Well, yes and no. Why? If you feel, if you feel aggrieved, you can go to constitution. By virtue of section 6 of section A of organic constitution, that's the constitution, you have the unrestricted, unlimited, to go to court. But what we are saying, now it behold now on the judiciary that will interpret this constitution. That is why I say that both lawyers and judges we are contributing.
Okay, let's go to Chief Ranti Adebisi now.
I'm glad the last statement my husband just made.
Yes.
The lawyers are the problem.
Yes.
We have issues within our party. We have the neck that has been saddled with the responsibility.
But you politicians keep approaching the lawyers.
Because they are part of us. They are always, nudging us to do these things.
In order to prevent crisis.
Some of these lawyers like the crisis going on in APC.
Wow.
Why? They make their living.
Because they make their living from it. They make money.
Yes.
When we are talking about what powers the NEC has, we all agree. Have you ever seen any APC member that comes out and say they did not agree with what NEC has done?
They have no option. They know
Because,
out of it.
well,
Would that not be openly confronting the
because
president?
our constitution, I'm not a lawyer, actually said that you must exhaust every options within the party
Yes.
before you go to the court. But the lawyers here, like my mom, they are nudging us.
That section is not.
Okay. Let's quickly listen to the former national chairman of the APC. His take on the decision of the NEC. Adams Oshiomhole.
The NWC, the APC under my chairmanship had done its best, and the results are there. Of course, we have now been dissolved, and I have accepted that dissolution in good faith. I am not going into the issue of legality or illegality. The bottom line is the president who invited me to lead the party and who gave me all the support and who mobilized all the support across the country for my emergence as chairman also presided over the meeting where the NWC has now been dissolved. And because I have always assured the president of my loyalty, and you know it's easy for people to speak to loyalty when the going is good, but loyalty is brought to the test when the going gets really, really tough. So as a demonstration of that loyalty to Mr. President, loyalty to our party, and loyalty to the Nigerian nation, I have decided to accept the decision in good faith. Accordingly, I have instructed my lawyers to withdraw my case that is currently pending at the Supreme Court, which has to do with the issue of my suspension. To sustain the legal action, we tantamount to disobey one of the decisions that the president had reached, namely that all cases be withdrawn from court.
Okay, that was the former national chairman of the APC, Adams Oshiomhole, stating his position on the decision of the NEC there. Let's quickly listen to the caretaker chairman, the man who was at the time the former national secretary of the party, Maimara Buni, governor of Ondo State.
If you don't manage crisis, crisis will manage you. So without justice, there will be no peace. So I am ready to do justice to every APC member.
Okay, let me ask Chief Adebisi, when you look at the composition of that caretaker committee, would you say that it has enough spread to ensure? Well, I'm not just talking about geographical. I'm not talking geography now. I'm talking political geography.
Interest.
Political geography. Let's put it that way. Does it have enough political geography, enough spread to ensure justice going forward?
Well, I don't think we have too much or too many political geographies there. We only have very few interests. Pro Oshiomhole, anti Oshiomhole. Those are the two interests you have there. And they are all represented there. I guess the president and the leaders of the party must have looked at it. Whether you like what they put there or not, we just have to work with what we have, in the interest of peace and for the party to move forward. And that is why I'm very happy that most people who have cases in court, they are withdrawing their cases. So that this...
Is that so in your state?
In my state...
Because I know people have gone to court in your state.
They went to court, but they are not pursuing it yet.
Okay.
Okay? They are actually doing... working on dialogues, which I'm part of too. Okay. You know. And we are hoping at the end of the day, we will all see things clearly. What those people in my state are talking about is not being part of the government. Like I said in my first statement, that we cook a soup, we put on the table, and other people were chased away. While some people were, you know, when people are trying, and that is one of the things we need to start doing in this country, to be able to, if we can do it, separate the party from governance.
Okay.
If we're able to do that.
Okay, just a minute. I have one of the APC chieftains, a former member of the House of Representatives in Ekiti State, Honorable Bimbo Daramola. You're welcome on the Roundtable. Hello.
Hello.
Honorable Bimbo Daramola, Thanks for joining us on the Roundtable.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, we'll be talking about the crisis in your party and the decision of the NEC. Let's start from there. What is your take on what went down on Thursday?
Well, I think, thank you very much for talking to me. It's been a while. How are you doing, Adebisi?
I'm fine.
All right, fine. When things get to a tipping point, as it did, a lot of people have actually thought that the president would have intervened a long time ago before Thursday. But I think it will be safe to say never too late. We were already becoming the butt of jokes in town. People were beginning to say that, okay, what is the difference after all? And APC came into power on moral authority and moral high ground. And so we had set ourselves up, not for destruction, but for people to begin to benchmark, development against our actions. So when the president decided to wade in, as he did on Thursday, at least now there's a level of calmness, and I think the reset button will be pressed. And the two warring camps, warring in quotes now, can eventually, whatever the motives that could have been behind the agitation, I reckon that both of them would now be able to take a couple of steps back and then be able to plan for the future of the party.
Honorable Bimbo Daramola,
ultimately,
hello?
I expect that the party should be prioritized and make the first of all considerations.
Okay, Honorable Bimbo Daramola, there is this letter making the ranks. I've read it on social media. Copies of it are going around. Written by you and some chieftains of the party, the likes of Dr. Oluyede, of the Dayo Babafemi Ojudu, complaining about injustice within the party, the APC in Ekiti State. Now we know that one of the directives of the president, so to say, was that all cases should be withdrawn from court. Let's start from there. We know some of these people have gone to court. Will that case be withdrawn?
I didn't quite hear you. I think your sentence was too long.
Okay, let's take it one at a time. The letter making the ranks, complaining about injustice within the APC going forward. How do you think this should be resolved? If we borrow a leaf from what the president said on Thursday.
Oh well, I don't think it was a letter. It was also an attempt to set things in perspective. Now let me make a few clarifications. I've read a few comments about this on Facebook. But let's start by saying, first and foremost, a party is not a personal property.
Okay.
And I want all those guys on Facebook, our young brothers and friends, who people have hired, as political trolls to begin to attack people on Facebook and all of that. I want them to ask themselves questions. Are you better today than you were 2 years ago? Is the party better today than the party was 2 years ago? That is the question. Let me make this clear to you. Senator Gidu, Brawale, Okutoli, Oye, myself, we never have any reason to want to write job again. Most of us will not write to look for jobs again. Likewise, the governor. Now, if you have invested your time, your attention, your resources in an enterprise, and I use that enterprise in quotes, not in terms of profiting now. I have said people, okay, you remember the story of two women who were fighting over a baby in the Bible.
Yes.
And one of them said, oh yeah, the king said, how do I know who truly owns this kid? The king said, okay, fine. I'm going to slash this baby. You will hold one and you will hold one. And the one who thoroughly carried that baby for 9 months and delivered that baby, says that, no, I have gone through a lot. I have carried the pregnancy to term with all, challenges that are associated with pregnancy. No, King, please, don't rip this child into two. Give the child to this guy, to this other person. When this child grows up, we will begin to, the child will know who the mom is. Now, look at the guys who have signed that letter. All the people who have signed the letter you referred to. And ask yourself, do these guys actually want Dr. Fahimi to fail? No, that's the question that these guys don't understand. Particularly the guys who go on Facebook and write all kinds of things. Now, if people have talked about things that will make our party vibrant and viral and steady and sure to be able to win election in another 2 years, is that to the gain of Senator Dudu alone? Or to the gain of Bimbo Daramola or who? I keep saying it in every time I say, this is a party of history. And Didi, you were part of that history. And of course, we must be guided by history. Oh, these guys who are hanging around and writing all kinds of letters in defenses and all of that, do they actually love the family more than everybody else? Do they love the state more than anybody else? And then people should they go ahead to threaten and say, hey, you won't vote. And if the party is so badly fractured and weak, the party will not stand anybody's aspiration in another 2 years.
Honorable Bimbo Daramola, because of our time, there is this letter that I saw of the ESCO, the word of Oluyede, saying that they will not suspend him. Is that letter genuine?
Oh, okay. Now, that's another thing. Ekiti this must show up to cook this thing is not good enough. Oh yeah, remove it and take it away. How are we going to ensure that this what you're cooking gets done in the first place? That's the literal translation. Now the challenge we have on that is that I wish people would be upfront and realistic and tell themselves the truth. All these guys who are defending the indefensible. I read the response of my Adebowale, and I'm asking, does he understand? What to do brought his credentials. Bimbo has brought his credentials. Oh, he has brought his credentials, and nobody can impeach that. We have not always been in government. We have been a party in opposition for 15 years, 24. Since 2000, since 1990, after Adebowale, this party has been in opposition. And we're saying, wake up. Let people address themselves to the issues that have been raised. There's somebody who, the aspiration of Dr. Fahimi, good luck. Whatever he wants to do, by all means, good luck. But we have a duty and a responsibility. Let me tell you, Didi, a whole lot of people in cabinet, when Dr. Ogele said that thing, and the people were saying, no, some people are rushing to prepare to write, no, we're not. People are talking to the stakeholders, I can tell you that. A whole lot of people are talking to me, they keep saying it. Are we saying there's no papa today? And somebody will jump up and say, it's because he didn't get ticket. In 2007, did they give me ticket? In 2011, did they give me ticket? In 2015, did they give me ticket? And should they give me ticket? The ticket belongs to the people. The party is not a personal property.
Honorable Bimbo Daramola.
Wait, Bibi. I'm going to address it. Everybody who is a member of that party wants that party to be a party of pride. And the things that take away the credibility and the reputation of the party, people must address them. There's the issue of development, there's the issue of management of people, and all of that. Who wants to find me? Nobody.
Honorable Bimbo Daramola, because of our time. Hello. Because of our time, we just have 10 more minutes. We just have 10 more minutes to go on the program.
You know they have called us strangers. They said we are strangers.
We just have 10 more minutes to go on the program. Thank you very much, Honorable Bimbo Daramola. We'll speak with you some other time. Okay, Chief Ranti Adebisi, that was just Honorable Bimbo Daramola, one of the, you know him very well.
Yes.
Is your Aburu, as you will say. Now, going forward, let me begin from Mr. Theo Adebowale. Going forward, what can, not just at the national level, there are, like he has said, there are so many problems at the state level within APC. What do you think can there be a cure or solution?
The major problem that must be addressed, but how to address it, I don't know.
Okay.
Is the army of praise singers, tale bearers. You see, when you have despots and tyrants in power, they are more comfortable with sycophants who always come around to worship them, to tell them stories and drop names. So long these people have access to personnel in power, it will be very difficult to solve the problem of leadership in APC, either at the state or federal level. And concomitantly, those of them who are elders must shy away from being opportunistic. They have very little to lose by telling these people who are in power to call them to order and to tell them that they have a responsibility to make democracy work. Like the last person said, you know, APC has been, or those of us who call ourselves progressives, have been outside of power, particularly at the federal level, for a long time. If care is not taken, if these despots and tyrants do not repent at all levels, either at party or governmental levels, will soon lose power, and it will be to the shame and detriment of everybody.
Okay. We don't have enough time on our side. Let me turn to Mr. Babalayo. One of those things that we've read, you know, as one of the reactions to this is that people have said it's all about 2023, even all the crises, and people have said, oh, Tinubu's presidential ambition is dead on arrival now that Oshiomhole has been removed. Let me read excerpt of Tinubu's press statement to you. To those who have been actively bleating out the president's actions at the NEC meeting have ended my purported 2023 ambitions. I seek your pity. I am but a mere mortal who does not enjoy the length of foresight or political wisdom you profess to have. Already you have assigned colorful epitaphs to the 2023 death of an alleged political ambition that is not yet even born.
Well, for me, I don't want to believe that the lift or misunderstanding within the APC is about 2023, because only God knows who will live, even be alive in 2023.
Do politicians know that?
No, I can't say that.
Do political players know that?
No, we should leave that for God to decide.
Okay.
But for me, we should all know that it's just a kind of, actors in play. You know, we should be able to understand that what we are witnessing is not new. Even in PDP, during their times, to find this kind of a thing, there must, in party politics, people must disagree and agree. But for me, there's no problem that is insurmountable. Yes, we are in it, and what the president has done to me is just like a right peg in a right hole. He has already, like some other people said earlier on, that they ought to have acted, before earlier. For me, this is the best time for him to act, and that he has done that, and it's a signal to everyone that there's nobody that is indispensable. And of course, if you think you have power that no one can control you, the constitution will control you. And that has done that.
Because of our time, let me turn to Chief Ranti Adebisi. Like I asked him, some people have ascribed this to the interplay of forces, in readiness for 2023. Do you agree?
Oh, well, in politics, politicians, immediately after one election,
they're already planning
for the next.
They're already scheming.
I think it's just the need to have control of the soul of the party. That's what is going on.
In preparation for 2023.
In preparation for whatever that is coming, election, we have Ondo election coming, we have a Do election coming. You know, some people want to control.
Yes.
And when we are talking about it, when people are attacking Tinubu left and right.
So it just...
let
me get you clearly.
Yeah.
Some people want to control. So you're saying it is not really... That there is fairness now. It is lost by one fashion and hijacked by another fashion. So it's still all about control.
It's still all about.
We are back to square one.
We are back to square one. But at the same token, it's like a runaway train that the president has helped us put a stop to.
But that train will restart. Will be restarted.
We are going to restart it. We are still going to disagree down the road, but at least everybody will know that, okay, we have done something wrong the last time, let's do it differently. Because the way politics is played in Nigeria, you know, we are still in our chieftain, this thing. And very soon, we are going to get it right.
Chieftain what?
Chieftain, yes. I mean, you are trying to compare us to people who have been practicing
your final take before we go. Quickly. Your final take before we go.
It's about people in Ekiti State. The problem in Ekiti State, I'm from Ekiti State, is the problem of recognition. When people see you through to one place, they want to control you. I'm not a political party man. But what is happening is that it is true. You see, I involved myself. Can
we do this faster? Because time is not on our side.
But when we did this thing, then I just divorced myself properly. But what is happening now is that the state governor refused to recognize those who are aggrieved. That's
okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Theo Adebowale, for coming on the roundtable today.
Thank you.
Barrister Morakinyo, Ogele, thank you very much. Mr. Babalayo, thank you very much. And Chief Ranti Adebisi, thank you very much for your time. This is where we draw the curtain on today's edition of the roundtable. My name is Major Danes. Do have a lovely week. Good afternoon.
Politics is a good thing, but with the attendant intricacies and the many sound bites, it gets confusing. At Adaba 88.9 FM, it is our job to sift through the noise, helping you make sense of it all. This is why we welcome you to our world, where we help make politicians accountable to you.